every night, as the world begins to quiet and the stars take their place in the sky, you are given a divine invitation and opportunity to reset your spirit, renew your mind, and realign with the truth of who you are. As you lay your head to rest, the words you whisper to yourself become seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious, and by morning they begin to bloom into your reality. Tell yourself, I am guided by infinite intelligence. Every step I take, even when unclear, is divinely directed. Though I may not always understand the path, I trust the process, knowing that nothing is random, and all things are unfolding for my highest good. Your words create your reality. Every sentence you speak is a declaration, a decree sent out into the spiritual substance of the universe. When you speak, you impress upon the unseen the shape of your desires, fears, beliefs, and expectations. Nighttime, in particular, is a sacred window, a time when the conscious mind begins to relax and the subconscious becomes highly receptive. What you say to yourself in those final moments before sleep takes root more deeply than at any other time during the day. The subconscious does not argue, does not reason. It simply accepts what is fed to it, and then it begins to act upon it, manifesting those suggestions into experience. When you tell yourself, I am guided, I am safe, or I am loved, you are not merely offering yourself comfort, you are engaging the divine law of creation. The spiritual realm is always listening, and it obeys your spoken word. If you declare, even in weariness or fear, that you are lost or unlucky or unloved, then the law moves to confirm that for you. But if you instead choose to speak with faith, confidence, and expectation, the law moves to manifest that higher truth. Words are not empty. They carry vibration. They are energetic instruments that strike chords in the unseen and return in form. Speaking faith activates faith. Speaking love draws love. Speaking peace brings stillness to your life. The subconscious is like a rich garden, and your words are the seeds. If you consistently plant seeds of harmony, abundance, healing, and joy, your life will blossom with these experiences, often in ways you could never have predicted or controlled with the conscious mind. In the moments before sleep, the veil between the conscious and the infinite becomes thin. It is here that you must guard your thoughts and become intentional with your words. Declare what you desire as though it is already so. Say, I am prosperous, even if your bank account says otherwise. Say, I am healed, even if your body still feels broken. Say, I am favored, even if the world seems indifferent. Why? Because spiritual law is not based on appearances, it is based on belief. Your word, backed by unwavering belief, overrides appearances and calls forth the unseen into the seen. The tongue holds power to bless or curse, to uplift or destroy, to unlock or delay what is divinely yours. Many go to bed rehearsing their fears, regretting their choices, or criticizing themselves. This too is a form of prayer, but a misguided one. The universe listens to every word, and it does not filter between self, pity, and spiritual declaration. Therefore, it becomes a sacred responsibility to speak only that which you wish to see made manifest. Speak with power, speak with faith. Speak as though what you desire is already yours, because in the divine realm it already is. Your word, when spoken with authority and spiritual confidence, is law in its own right, and the universe must obey. You are guided and protected. There is a divine intelligence that governs all things, a silent force that knows the end from the beginning, and sees far beyond what the physical eyes can perceive. When you align with this truth, you no longer walk in fear or confusion. Even in moments when the path seems hidden or filled with uncertainty, there is a higher plan unfolding, one that your soul agreed to before you even arrived here. To remember that you are divinely led is to surrender the need to control every detail and instead step into a quiet confidence that what is yours will find you. and what is not meant for you will be gently removed. Every challenge carries within it a message, every delay holds a hidden blessing, and every redirection is a divine correction. There are no coincidences under divine law, only the orchestration of right place, right time, and right outcome. When things appear to go wrong, they are often going right in ways you cannot yet see. This is why faith is not just a concept, it is a spiritual discipline. It means trusting when your eyes show lack, when your ears hear bad news, when your plans crumble. It means knowing that even the detours are part of the divine design. There is no need to force your way through life when you are divinely guided. What belongs to you flows to you without struggle, and doors open effortlessly when you walk in spiritual alignment. If a door closes, it is not rejection, it is redirection. If something leaves your life, it is because it has fulfilled its purpose. When you understand this, you no longer resist or chase, you trust. You allow, you rest. Being protected means more than just physical safety. It is the assurance that nothing can truly harm you spiritually. Even when difficulties arise, they are used for your elevation. The hand of divine protection covers every step, every decision, and every encounter. Sometimes you are delayed to avoid harm. Sometimes relationships end because they cannot go where you are going. Even your intuition, that quiet whisper within, is a form of divine communication. When you feel uneasy about something, listen. When something feels peaceful, trust it. Your inner guidance is the voice of the infinite nudging you in the right direction. To go to sleep each night with the knowing that you are being led by a power greater than yourself is to enter a state of spiritual rest. You no longer worry, plan obsessively, or grasp for control. You simply align. You speak your intention, you trust in its unfolding, and you rest in the knowledge that you are never alone. The same power that keeps the stars in place is the power that walks before you. And with this awareness, you move through life not in fear, but in divine assurance. Letting go brings freedom. The act of release is not weakness. It is the highest form of spiritual strength. So many carry the burdens of past hurts, regrets, disappointments, and fears into their sleep, unaware that these unseen weights are shaping the course of their lives. To let go is not to forget, nor is it to excuse, it is to rise above. It is to declare that you are no longer willing to be bound by what once was, that you are ready to create space for what is yet to come. When you let go, you are not giving up control, you are giving it back to divine law. You are surrendering your limited understanding in exchange for infinite wisdom. The ego wants to hold on to people, to outcomes, to explanations. But the soul longs to be free. Every night presents an invitation to lay down what is too heavy to carry into tomorrow. The anger, the sorrow, the confusion, they are not meant to follow you into rest. They are meant to be transmuted by your willingness to release. The energy of clinging blocks the flow of good. When you obsess over what didn't work, who hurt you, or what went wrong, you trap yourself in a cycle of resistance. But when you choose to let go, you open the channel for blessings to pour in. It is in the surrender that the miracle begins. The release may feel like loss, but it is actually alignment. You are aligning with peace, with truth, with grace. Nothing real is ever lost. What is truly yours by divine right cannot be taken or missed. As you close your eyes each night, ask yourself, what am I holding that no longer serves me? Is it a story of failure? Is it the fear that I won't be enough? Is it the guilt of a decision I made? Then gently affirm, I release this now. I no longer need it. It does not define me. It does not belong to the soul I am becoming. Speak those words with intention, and the very atmosphere around you begins to shift. The universe responds to your willingness to let go, because in that space, you declare your readiness to receive. Letting go is a quiet power. It is the silent courage to trust that life is unfolding as it should, even without your grasp. It is the faith to believe that what awaits is greater than what is gone, and it is the grace to know that your spirit was never meant to carry the weight of the world. You are meant to soar, but you cannot fly while anchored to what has already passed. The past is over. Its only purpose now is the wisdom it gave you, and when you release it, you free yourself to move in rhythm with the divine. You become light, unburdened, and open to everything your soul is ready to receive. Forgiveness is a spiritual key that unlocks doors no effort or force can ever open. It is not a passive act, nor is it simply forgetting what has been done. It is a powerful decision to release the energetic hold of resentment, pain, and judgment. Many walk through life chained to invisible burdens, unaware that the bitterness they carry is not hurting the one who wronged them, but themselves. The unforgiving heart becomes hardened, the mind clouded, and the soul unable to receive the full blessings waiting to flow in. When you refuse to forgive, you tie yourself to the very thing you wish to be free from. The law of mind is exact. What you focus on expands. By holding onto the wrong, you feed it. By rehearsing the story, you give it power. Forgiveness cuts the cord. It says, "This no longer controls me." It does not say the pain was justified, but it declares that your healing is more important than your need to be right. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Each night, before you sleep, you are given a sacred opportunity to clear your heart. This is the time to go within and ask yourself, who am I still holding in judgment? It could be someone from years ago, or someone from today. It could even be yourself, and that, perhaps, is the hardest part. Forgiveness, the mistakes you've made, the choices you regret, the paths you didn't take, they can all weigh on the soul like silent anchors. But just as you offer grace to others, you must learn to extend it to yourself. Forgiveness transforms the inner world. It is like opening a window in a dark room and letting in the light. When you forgive, healing flows in. Creativity is restored, love returns, and most importantly, the divine energy that has been blocked by resentment begins to move again. The law cannot work fully in your favor while you are tied up in the cords of unforgiveness. You must be clear, open, and aligned to receive the good that is meant for you. Speak aloud, "I release all resentment. I forgive all. I forgive myself." Say it even if you don't feel ready. The act of saying it sets the law into motion. You do not need to understand how the healing will happen, you only need to be willing. The rest is done for you through you. What seemed impossible to let go of begins to lose its grip. The story no longer repeats. The pain no longer stings. You become lighter, more present, more available to love and be loved. Forgiveness is not a one-time act. It is a daily spiritual practice. Each time you choose it, you rise. Each time you let go, you grow. And in this quiet release, miracles begin to unfold. For where there is forgiveness, there is freedom, and where there is freedom, divine favor flows with ease. Abundance flows effortlessly when you align yourself with divine law. You were not created to struggle, to chase, or to constantly worry about having enough. You were created to receive, to attract, and to live in a state of flow. True abundance is not something to be earned through force or to be hunted down through constant effort. It is a vibration, a state of being, that reflects your inner belief in the generosity of the universe and the worthiness of your own soul. Many are taught to equate hard work with wealth, to believe that success must come through stress, sacrifice, and struggle. But the spiritual realm operates on a different law, the law of assumption, the law of expectation, the law of belief. When you believe that you are provided for, when you expect good to come, and when you speak as though it is already yours, the universe rearranges itself to fulfill that vision. You do not need to know how it will happen. Your task is not to chase, but to align. Before sleep, Affirm that all you need is already yours. Declare it with authority. I do not chase, I attract. What belongs to me flows to me with ease. These are not just words of comfort, they are commands sent into the infinite, shaping the conditions of your waking life. The subconscious mind, always listening, begins to accept these truths and works during the night to draw to you the opportunities, connections, and circumstances that match the frequency you have chosen. Scarcity is a lie taught by fear. The truth is that you live in an abundant universe, overflowing with every form of good health, love, wealth, ideas, and joy. But to receive, you must believe. Fear blocks the flow. Doubt delays it. Desperation repels it. The energy of wanting says, I do not have. But the energy of gratitude says, it is already mine. Gratitude is the magnet. It draws more of what you focus on. When you fall asleep grateful, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. There is no need to compete, to compare, or to beg for what is already yours by divine right. What is for you cannot miss you. The supply is limitless, and your source is not a job, a person, or an institution. Your source is the infinite, the divine, and it never runs dry. Money is only one form of abundance. There are infinite channels through which blessings can flow. Keep your faith in the source, not the channel. If one door closes, another will open often better, greater, and more aligned with your soul's purpose. As you sleep, your belief is at work. Your words take root. Your spirit prepares to receive. By trusting the flow, you open the gates to prosperity. You begin to live not as a servant of fear, but as a child of the infinite confident, calm, and divinely provided for. And that is when abundance begins to arrive not with effort, but with grace. Gratitude attracts blessings. It is not merely a polite response to something good. It is a spiritual force, a magnet that pulls more of what you appreciate into your experience. When you cultivate gratitude, you align yourself with the vibration of abundance, peace, and joy. You no longer focus on what is missing, but instead anchor yourself in the reality of what is already present. This shift in awareness moves you out of resistance and into receptivity, where divine flow can begin to work through your life without obstruction. Each night, before you surrender to sleep, you are given the chance to recount the day not through the lens of complaint or regret, but through the lens of appreciation. Even in difficult days, there are gifts. Even in painful moments, there is something to be thankful for, a lesson, a glimpse of strength, a moment of clarity. The more you acknowledge these gifts, the more the universe responds by delivering more experiences that reflect that vibration. Gratitude is not passive, it is generative, it creates, it multiplies. When you speak aloud your thanks not only for what has come, but for what is yet unseen, you declare your faith in the invisible order of things. You say, I trust the process, I believe in divine timing, I know that everything is working out for my highest good. These declarations send ripples through the unseen, calling to you the people, the resources, the ideas, and the opportunities that match your trust. It is easy to be grateful when things are going well, but the true power of gratitude is found in the moments when things appear uncertain or incomplete. To give thanks in those times is to show unwavering faith. It is to affirm that you are not guided by appearances, but by the truth that divine law is always working, even when you cannot see it. Gratitude becomes a spiritual signal, a message to the universe that says, I am ready, I am open, I am willing to receive. When you go to sleep with a grateful heart, your mind rests lighter, your body relaxes more deeply, your spirit enters sleep in alignment with peace and trust. The subconscious, fed by your words of appreciation, begins to attract circumstances that match the energy you expressed. Morning comes not with the same heaviness or dread, but with a readiness to witness more good. You begin to find beauty in small things, joy in the ordinary, and signs of divine order in unexpected places. Gratitude changes your posture toward life. You no longer approach each day wondering what might go wrong, but expecting to see evidence of grace. The more you give thanks, the more you receive to be thankful for. And this is the cycle of blessing, a spiritual law that cannot be broken. When your life becomes a prayer of gratitude, the doors of abundance cannot help but open, and the flow of good becomes constant, steady, and overflowing.